Well, hello, good morning and welcome. Short little glitch there, and we are live now for the Exeter Property Awards launch event. Welcome, and I hope this finds you well. The Exeter Property Awards are headline sponsored from Close Brothers Property Finance, and we'll be hearing from them shortly. And my name is Greg Ingham from the organisers Media Clash, and thank you again for joining us today. Today's launch event is sponsored by YBS Commercial Mortgages, from whom we'll also be hearing shortly. Our thanks in advance to both of our participants this morning. Now, the stand-back point. Isn't it just great to see Exeter back in the past few weeks thriving? And nationally, all the economic indicators are strongly positive. What wise analysts have called the uncoiled spring effect actually does seem to be playing out. The indices are ahead of expectation, which is good. For the property sector, it's clear that there have been many strong performing areas, resi, commercial across the piece, and much resilience. And also new opportunities created by the pandemic, where the desire for greater domestic space, the flight to the west, the bold reimaginings of city centre properties, clever interpretations of commercial offers, growth in logistics, huge growth in logistics, backed by the robustness of the commercial property values and strong house price growth. We pick out that latter point, perhaps, with YBS shortly. It's good to look forward to the whole property scene in Exeter gathering together at the Exeter Property Awards. Just the odd month or two after we first intended, there's been a bit of an interruption, which we all know about, but we will be there in the autumn. I'll come on to that. Today, we'll be running through how the Exeter Property Awards work, what the format is, why they might matter, some details of the nominating and judging processes, and also some handy hints on why you might consider sponsoring. So, please do ask questions if you like, and we'll take those that we can. So before we get going, some updates of what we think is some relevant stuff about what we're also doing in Exeter. First up, a quick mention of our Exeter Living Business Surgeries that are open to businesses to share and showcase useful expert advice for other businesses. Please do get in touch if this is of interest. It's a long-form webinar which we give you the video assets for to promote subsequently, as well as, of course, with many people watching live, and then it's several dozens watching on YouTube subsequently. It's a great way to demonstrate expertise. We also have our own new conference starting shortly, July 1st, which is only a week tomorrow, called EntreConf. Entrepreneurs are central to the region, new ways of looking at the world, new business models, new services, products, jobs, and new opportunities for advisors, investors, financial companies, lawyers, everyone. So many. That's why we've launched EntreConf, the Entrepreneurs Conference, July 1st. The future is unwritten. Pitched at startups, especially scale-ups, and all connected with entrepreneurs. You'll see as this is going by, look at our keynotes. Some really, really high-quality speakers, truly stellar. Chris Anderson, owner of the world-renowned TED conferences, and Hyatt, just unrivaled top-level first-hand experience, former business partner of Jeff Bezos at Amazon, that level of experience, and then chief of staff at Google. And Dale Vince, idiosyncratic leading green energy entrepreneur and pioneer. Loads of research, practical advice, and it's a really valuable area for all forms of businesses, but particularly startups and new businesses. Complimentary conference passes are available via the site, and there's going to be a ton of people joining in there. And yeah, the future is unwritten. Talking of the future's coming around pretty sharply with the Exeter Property Awards, and we are delighted to be launching these finally, following the successful Bath, Bristol, and Cardiff property iterations. First, let's hear, and I hope Richard's going to be here, let's hear from our headline sponsor, Close Brothers Property Finance. It's Richard Hemmings. With any luck, there he is.
Morning, how are you? Does it work?
How are you doing, Richard?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well.
Good to see you. And tell us how business has been for Close Brothers Property Finance this year, and perhaps interesting new clients and projects.
Well, yeah, it's been I suppose surprisingly good, hasn't it? You talk about the uncoiled spring, but certainly the residential property market is going great guns still. So for us as a bank, through the first half of this year, we've our borrowers have been selling houses very well, and we've been seeing good levels of new business. So lots of money back in, lots of money back out, which is really the way it should be.
Sounds good. And I suspect we all know the answer to this question, but let's try it anyway. Are you confident of the year ahead? It seems to be shaping up pretty strongly.
Well, yeah, I think cautiously confident is probably the answer. As I say, it's been a very good first half. I think we're probably all now fairly confident that there's unlikely to be any credit event coming forward. So, and the market does still look set fair. So, I think there are still the usual suspects in terms of challenges for developers that we've discussed actually in these forums in the past, and obviously there's the spectre of inflation is still lurking there. In fact, not even lurking now, it's clear and present. And, probably the conversation I have most often with my clients at the moment is with regard to build cost inflation. So there will be challenges, I think, but I think, yes, cautious optimism or increasingly cautious or less cautious optimism is probably the way to go.
I'm trying to work out if we're under or over. I think on balance, that means we're over.
I think we're over.
We're over, yeah. And what about, I don't know, the appetite for risk from some of the people you're supplying to, and indeed your own appetite for risk to put that capital into play?
Well, our appetite to risk really remains unchanged. We try and steer a steady path as we always have done. I think there's strong demand and appetite from developers. As I say, the big problems for them seem to be finding the right sites. Yeah. But there's certainly enthusiasm there.
Well, if anyone can take a nudge from this, it's about the supply of available sites. If now perhaps the time is to bring to market these interesting prospects, because the capital is there, the desire is there, the opportunity is there. And so, one last question for you, if I may, Richard. Just it's one of these odd ones, really. But why did Close Brothers choose this headline position? And what would you say to those potential sponsors teetering on the very brink of signing up?
Marketing. Well, I think the Southwest region is one that we've always enjoyed and been keen on. And in fact, we've supported the residential development sector in the region for more than 40 years now. So I think as we move into something which is approaching normality, hopefully, it's just really an excellent opportunity to reinforce the message that we're open, we're here, and we're keen to do business. As regards people teetering on the brink, well, it'd be great to get out and in real life enjoy some time together.
I think that's one of the things that we've been most aware of. We ran a session on events in Exeter recently, and it's quite clear the sort of pent-up demand for, of course, everyone to get together. That whole absence makes the heart grow fonder, or whatever. All of us have been slightly constrained in our business. We found clever ways of running businesses and so on, but face-to-face, real-time at a business event, we're looking forward to it hugely, and it's great that you're on board. So thank you, Richard. Thank you to Close Brothers Property Finance for headline sponsoring these awards. And we look forward to seeing you in real life very soon. Thanks.
Thank you.
Cheers. Right, where should we go now? Let's come on to the format of what we're doing. Here's what to expect. We're running the awards as a Friday lunchtime event, and that's deliberately chosen. Fridays are just the best day for social business. And that's Sandy Park, Friday, November the 19th. It'll begin at about 12 for vital networking. And of course, business starts with a conversation. We'll have an introductory speaker, plus an excellent lunch, of course. Then the awards, I'll talk about those in a moment. And of course, followed by very convivial business meetings, which may well extend into the early evening. When people come together, good people to come together, great things happen. Have a look at this. These are images from similar events in Bristol and Bath. And I know, looking at the guest list today, several of you will have been to these. But you can get a flavour of what it's like. This is an incredibly connected sector, constantly cross-referring, partnering with, and so on. And that chance for us to be the sort of, one of the catalysts to bring a lot of people together in one room at one time, that's where value is created. Friends and contacts you haven't seen in absolutely ages. Existing clients who've lived this half-life through your computer screen. New business opportunities that perhaps have been missed, those happenstance sliding doors moments that actually can't be recovered, but they can be regenerated. And a day which brings everyone together, all areas of Exeter Property, into one room. Chance to celebrate the dynamic property sector, resi to commercial, from letting some new builds, from civic buildings to those bold reimaginings. Exeter clearly teams with clever property companies. And it's never been more important. And as we've been saying, when the right people come together in one place, business happens. So we can't wait. We'll have more on tickets and tables shortly. It's quite clear with the strong demand we already have. We haven't put tickets on sales just yet, but are very, very soon. It's quite clear that we're going to be constrained by supply, a little bit like Richard's point earlier. So if you're interested, please follow shortly. Let's come on to the nominations. If you want, ask questions if you fancy. The nominations are open right now via the Exeter Property Awards site, and will close in a good few weeks yet, and we'll give you due notice of that. They cover the period July 2020 to July 2021. Of course, we're cognizant of the pandemic's impact. Nominating process works like this. You nominate your company yourself, whichever categories that work for you. It's free, of course. Any company can enter, provided you are either based in or do business in the Exeter area, roughly 20-25 mile radius, but there's no slide rules here. And I stress that point, it's free to enter. These are our categories. So, quite a few. Architect, civic development, commercial agent, commercial development, commercial interior designer, consultancy, contractor, deal, developer, employer, financial, funder, green initiative, legal, resi agent, resi development, one to watch, so rising star, resi interior designer, suppliers and services, and transformation. And then at the end, there's a standout winner of winners award for the overall winner on the day. Of course, we know it's been tough. It's been some have done extremely well. The property sector has done better than most, but it's been a strange experience. And we'll have a special part of the nomination form where you can explain how you've responded to the pandemic for your business, for your team, perhaps for your community as well. And yeah, there's been loads of great success stories, and our judges know what an odd year, of course, this has been. They'll be looking for smart ways in which you've responded. And after these past 12 months, we can all do with that recognition by peers. Just imagine how good it would be to be on the shortlist of these inaugural Exeter Property Awards, good for marketing and so on, have all those benefits. But yeah, let alone imagine winning. And you can readily imagine what it'd be like for you to see a competitor highlighted in that way, window stickers, email footers, websites, Exeter Living ads. Well, enter then, give it a go. That type of badge of recognition can be very useful as a cred. And so many of you have told us in our Exeter Living business clubs and business surgeries, dozens and dozens of Exeter Living conversations, how proud you are of your teams, how they've responded. Rightly so. So yeah, nominate for your teams. But whatever the reason, please do nominate. Anyone can win this. Could be familiar faces, entirely new entrants, companies wholly unfamiliar. Anyone. It's great for profile. If you're an Exeter area-based business, cite your work here and explain what you've done for the city, but also include projects outside of the city if they were created here, such as perhaps by a local architect. If you're a regional or national player, international even, focus your nomination on what you've done in Exeter. It's great you've got the national strength or whatever it is, but focus on the local. What have you done here? In terms of their assessments of the nominations, judges are looking for, this is the split. Evidence of excellence and response to the pandemic, 35%. Quality of nomination, 25%, how you've marshaled your evidence and the detail of it. Distinctiveness of offering, 15%. Civic, charity, ecological, 15%. Testimonials, 10%. There are word counts in each area, so we ask people to keep, of course, to those, and it makes for an extra degree of discipline, so you're not spending a lot of time writing a load of stuff that our judges will swim when they see. It's very focused arguments. It's a pitch, essentially. Good luck. And then it's up to the judges. We select a group, a cohort drawn from all areas of the Exeter property scene. Some will know, others we don't, but all are wholly independent. Their task is simple in outline. They and they alone choose the winners. But of course, it's infinitely harder in detail. We've got a question over here saying, would you add commercial fit out? We'll consider that. That's from Sally Basker of Exeter Science Park. We'll consider that. I think probably that would be under somewhere between contractor and commercial interior designer, but we'll come back to Sally on that subsequently. So our judges read the nominations, they meet and discuss and debate and recuse themselves of this conflict of interest, make their case, listen to each other carefully, vote, revote, navigate through split votes, all that good stuff. And eventually they pick the winners. And we will stress again, it's a very thorough process, very independent process. And we believe it to be a very fair one. In all of our awards, such as the Exeter Living Awards, our judges do take their responsibilities very seriously, and rightly so, and our thanks to them. So we've got the events, we've talked about the categories and the nominating processes and the judges. What else? Well, a couple of things. It's clearly beneficial for businesses to have the standout accolade of being a finalist in these, what we hope are prestigious awards. We've had terrific support so far, let alone being a winner. In addition to those various marketing assets, physical and digital, all finalists and then winners are included in coverage of Exeter's leading media brand, Exeter Living. And talking of Exeter Living, here's a word or two about a magazine that we're very proud to publish.
In every issue, Exeter Living celebrates the very best of Exeter. From our bold, intriguing, attention-gaining covers to our carefully crafted content, we love promoting our incredible city. And property has always been at the heart of what we do. It unites so many companies. Everyone wants to know what's happening in the Exeter property scene, whether it's residential or commercial, and we love our role as chronicler of your sector. We also love bringing people together at our events. Our Exeter Living Awards are returning on the 2nd of September, and these Exeter Property Awards will be happening for the first time on the 19th of November. Thank you for your support. Here's to a good year for all of us.
Indeed, yeah, thank you for all your support. It's been quite clear during these times, there's a sort of a deeper point here. It's prompted, this pandemic has prompted so many of us to think hard about how and why we do what we do. Profitability, traditional metrics of success absolutely matter. They're essential. They're right at the heart of business always. But I think there are some additional different values coming through, different ways of appreciating what we do, precisely because all of us have not been able to do it as previously. So in that context, just ponder the value again to you of your colleagues, to peers choosing your business objectively, fairly, and in a highly considered way. Deciding that you are a winner would mean so much after this year of years. The same principles apply to sponsoring. This is such a strange year, and so the opportunity to come together to be highlighted as a leading proponent of the Exeter property scene is particularly beneficial this time around. Talking of sponsors, let's bring forward our sponsor of today's launch event. It's YBS Commercial Mortgages. Here's Mike Davies, Head of Business Development. And Mike will be joining us right now about that. There he is. Morning, sir.
Morning, Greg. I'm glad the technology worked.
You and me both, eh? So tell me, how's your year developing? Well, not you personally, but if you want to, but certainly for YBS.
Yeah, it's going well. Obviously, like everybody else, we had to manage with the shock of lockdown and COVID, and that certainly impacted things. There was a fall off in deal flow. We did see lots of investors pulling out of the market, but we made a commitment to stay open, keep supporting our customers, and yes, things have gone well, particularly in terms of new business volumes and new brokers who've come to join us over the last 12 months.
And presumably the mortgage market has had this big old surge because of the SDLT effect, but not solely that.
No, I think there's lots of factors at play. Certainly investors in the buy-to-let market have been keen to move into the residential sector, steering clear of some of the commercial sectors that have suffered from lockdown. But also I think, the furlough scheme, advantage of reduction to stamp duty have all really helped, and I think whereas expectations may have been that the market would fall away, it hasn't. I think we need to have a degree of caution, particularly around the end of the furlough scheme and what that may do to unemployment, but as we stand today, Greg, it's a really positive picture.
Which is great. And have there been any changes to the types of clients YBS is dealing with, and maybe the property companies referring you?
I think we've seen a gradual increase in the size of transaction that we've been doing. I think again that's been driven by a desire for people to put or invest in bricks and mortar. In times of crisis, it is something that can be quite stable. So yeah, a gradual increase in overall deal size has been the one factor that I'd pull out.
Yeah, property almost as a safe haven. That old phrase, safe as houses, which is always a little bit dangerous, but it seems to be playing out. Property has had a particularly, and perhaps for most commentators, a surprisingly strong run in the last 12, 15 months.
Yes, I absolutely. And we've also seen it nationally. Obviously, we operate across the country. If I think about just the Southwest and our team in Bristol, the team there have seen a significant growth in terms of the number of deals that they've done, which has been fantastic because we opened the office there in at the start of 2020, and it's just gone from strength to strength in really difficult circumstances. And
then the Exeter area specifically, your work there, how's that going?
Yeah, absolutely. One of our relationship directors, James Roach, is actually based in Exeter. We operate from hubs. YBS is a fairly traditional organisation. We still like people in offices, but we've really embraced new technology. The lockdown led to us investing quite heavily in IT. The benefits of which we're seeing now, because I'm able to log on to this Zoom call, which I think pre-lockdown I might have had difficulties with my old laptop. But yeah, James is based in Exeter, has some good local relationships with brokers, and we're starting to build a portfolio of customers based in and around the city. And long may that continue. We've just triggered our next round of investment. So there will be more YBS lending managers and more funding available for businesses in the region very shortly, once we're able to announce who those new recruits are.
Well, when you're ready to announce, please do use our channels of Exeter Living, and we will help you get the word out there, because businesses need that supply of capital. Perhaps just one last question in closing, Mike, if I may. Just tell us about YBS's association with the Exeter Property Awards and what you're most looking forward to.
Absolutely. I think there's a couple of things on a headline level. We are totally committed to the region, to the Southwest, and to Exeter. We started our growth plans in 2019 and identified certain key locations, Bristol and Exeter being two, and the Southwest more broadly, particularly as we knew we were keen to get into the sort of holiday let market. So being aligned with the awards is really important to us in terms of making sure that our brand is recognised locally. And I think the other thing that I've been really impressed with, and you mentioned at the outset that there have been some sort of delays in terms of getting the awards off the ground. The professionalism of your team, the quality of the work that you guys are doing in terms of putting the event together, but also the breadth of the awards is something that really attracts us. And we hope it'll add some value back into the region, as well as potentially generating some new business for us.
That's Mike, that's really kind of you to say so, and on behalf of the team, thank you very much. We're absolutely looking forward to these awards happening in real life. Thanks to you, thanks to YBS Commercial Mortgages, delighted to have you involved as a sponsor, and thanks also to all our sponsors so far, the 2021 Exeter Property Awards. Mike, thank you. So,
thank you much, Greg.
Thanks. A couple of things about why you might consider sponsoring. Mike's touched on a couple. We believe it's effective and efficient. You reach hundreds of Exeter businesses and, of course, thousands of Exonians in one deal in close association, with the city's leading media brand, Exeter Living. You'll be in great company with our terrific roster of initial sponsors. You'll have high impact prominence on the day, the programme, on screen, on stage, all of the marketing, of course. You'll be standing up proud as an Exeter property business. And after this year of all years, to be supporting the property sector while building your own business pipeline seems like a pretty interesting combination. This is our current roster of sponsors. As mentioned, our headline sponsor, very proud to have Close Brothers Property Finance as headliners. Our category sponsors, Avalon Planning and Heritage, Allsall Construction, International Tiles and Bathrooms, Original Style, Wilmot Dixon and Vickery Holman. And then our other sponsors are feature sponsors, Retro Homes, Triangle Networks, and yes, of course, today's launch event sponsor, YBS Commercial Mortgages. Thank you to all. With many categories now sponsored already and several more under offer, that's your parlance, but anyway, it's true, under offer, under discussion in some cases. It's clear there's a great desire to connect again with the best contacts to build business and to push on 2022. So yeah, please do consider sponsoring the Exeter Property Awards. Let me just tell you about this, which is the marketing. Give you an idea of some of the stuff that we've been doing. And I've mentioned this idea that one deal and then multiple months of high-profile marketing, which Mike touched on as well, commercially and editorially through Exeter Living, through our database of thousands of companies in the region, big pushes on LinkedIn and Twitter, and yeah, all culminating on the day with the highest prominence throughout, including, of course, that best seats table of 10. And there's some interesting categories remaining, and yeah, you can see from the previous list, you'll be in good company. And yes, business starts the conversation, so let's all talk. When, just to reinforce the point, they'll be taking place in real life, and that seems like we didn't have to use that phrase a few months ago, but yes, in real life, Sandy Park, which is such a great venue, November 19th. And our world will be wholly familiar then. We'll be yomping around in the next normal as the uncoiled spring, as Richard was talking about earlier, of the recovery propels us forward. It'll be time for us all to have the opportunity to come together once more in celebration of the very best of Exeter Property. November 19, 2021, please save the date. Tickets. I want to emphasize this point. They are available now, just as of this morning. I think I just got a message saying literally just now. Tables and tickets. We're limiting supply initially because we want to make sure we've got the right blend of companies, and also want to be fair to companies who may not know that they're on sale right this split second. So please do come forward. We'll be releasing those tickets in stages. The first quite material stage is now released. Partner tables, we know, are already set to be in short supply given the demand. We've had lots of inquiries, people who want to bring, of course, their colleagues, but really their key clients in one environment together, again, after this year. So if there are shortages initially when you log on, please add your names to the waiting list on the site, and we'll do our best to include as many as we can. And if you have any queries or questions, or just want to be involved in any way, please do email events@mediaclash.co.uk. So thank you for watching today. Thank you to Close Brothers Property Finance and to YBS, and to Richard and Mike for joining us. Thank you for connecting with the awards, and we hope for nominating into them. And yes, of course, thanks for your support for Exeter Living. This has been a Media Clash production, and with YBS, this has been the special launch event, the Exeter Property Awards. Exeter together, always. Thank you.